Coach, as you know, being over in Orlando, still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for the team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Go now. 10 over.
Yeah, let's get set lunch.
Now a first carry for Daniel Pumphrey. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On the run, it's Pumphrey. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll run it now with Pumphrey. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. first carry for Ronald Jones. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Jackson from the shotgun. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So, line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down. Check 27, eyes on 27. Shit.
And they try to sweep to Jones.
Go.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards there, first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Switch up.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Jackson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. He's got this one complete to Perriman. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. And Jackson throwing once more. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Check 45 at the mic. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now.
On 2nd and 10, it's Stick. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
70.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. 5.
They're going to go play action now with Stick. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his first touchdown here of the new campaign as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
How about the throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A big-time play there for New Orleans. 56 yards on the ground. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Dixon. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he cuts it left, and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, and normally you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare.
General West. Hey, Zoo.
First and 10, stick. He's got Smith here. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 2nd and 9, stick. Throw left side, complete. That's Carter. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, here's Dixon. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make it 24-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Jackson to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. David Onyemata able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Taken from just outside the 30. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Throwing on 2nd down, Jackson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he fields it cleanly. 1:52 to play until halftime. An NFL update. 2nd quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
That's good for 28 yards. Stick looking to throw on 1st and 10. And this one complete to Smith. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Set, ready? 60 or.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They run with Pumphrey, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. They'll run here with Pumphrey. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Jackson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Open man has got it. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. As Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Hey, wahoo!
52. Mike 52. Cut.
Off play action, it's Stick. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check 15, check 15. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up, double up.
Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Lutz good on the extra point. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 15. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
Here we go. Can't do so.
On first down, they go with Dixon. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
61, matchbox, white. Rush in.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Break.
Watch Mike. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Joker. Kill.
Pilot, 64, get.
On 3rd and short, it's Dixon. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Saints have taken the lead. He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it 2 ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people as it takes to slowing him down running the football. Even if they want to hit me over the top on play action, I just don't let him beat me that way anymore. And if I'm him, I'm in the huddle calling the plays myself. I don't care what play call comes in. I tell my quarterback, guess what? You're handing it to me again.
And if I'm the quarterback, I'm saying, okay, that sounds good, right?
Smart quarterback.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They go play action here on first down. He completes it to Jones. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Jackson. Got a man. That's Quinn. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Alex Anzalone, and that will force a turnover on downs.
You ready?
I got him.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
Check 13. Check 13. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
50, plant.
Don't get nervous. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3.
On third down, Dixon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 3 plays, all resulting in 3-yard carries to bring up fourth down. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll make this a 7-point game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a third down.
On the set. Watch 6-3. 218. Jump. Hey, Delta.
Check
5.
On third down, it's Stick. The open man is Smith. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good gain, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
Set. 18 Gator.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. David Onyemata in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Throwing is Jackson. And now he'll tuck it and run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. David Onyemata in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
70 Indy. Get.
On 1st down, it's Dixon. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Protein spell.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for New Orleans, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.